Good morning, Nigeria, and welcome to your frontline destination for unfiltered conversations and credible perspectives. This is the now streaming morning show coming to you live from ACNNTV. This morning, the political landscape trembles as former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar makes his stunning exit from the People's Democratic Party. What does this mean for the opposition? What's next for 2027? Is the realignment of forces already underway? And that's not all. Across the country, the headlines are bursting, from economic reforms sparking street reactions to breaking developments in the judiciary and governance. As the nation holds its breath, we ask the tough questions, and today we bring you the answers. I am Boluwatife Adegboye, your anchor for this morning, and I am alone in the studio. We have also Mr. Raphael joining us right here from the studio. We have Mr. Raphael Oja Okobo, a social and sports commentator. And joining us virtually is my co-anchor, Godwin Ujiri. Also joining us from Delta State is Comrade Abraham Soko, a political and sports analyst. Joining us later on the show this morning is Dr. Edesiri Izu, a sports analyst. You are welcome, Mr. Raphael.
Good morning and good morning to our viewers. Producer, please, I want you to do one thing for me. Please put Comrade Soko on the screen. Let's have Comrade Soko on the screen. I wanted to congratulate him this morning, but I will not congratulate him because he's wearing green. Unless you go and change. He's wearing green. I wanted to shake him with my two hands and salute him with my legs, but he's wearing green. I don't know which club they wear green. But good morning, guests. Good morning, Bolu. It's good to be here again.
All right, Comrade Soko, good morning. How is the weather over there in Delta State? And now is the
good
morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bolu. We have a sunny weather today after 10 days of rain. So it has been a very good, shiny weather for the last few days. So thank you very much. And thank you, Mr. Raphael. Congratulations accepted. We shocked the world. It's a good day to be here again today. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Comrade Soko, I believe, we need to leave that banter for this session. When we enter the sports session, we will give them all. Is it Oha or Egusi for Egusi or Ora for Ora? How do they take talk up? Whichever way. Viewers, remember, you can be part of the discussion this morning by calling the numbers showing on your screen or sending us your comment via our various social media platforms. So let's start with the newspaper headlines this morning, and we start with the Vanguard newspaper. Viewers, you are welcome to the now streaming sports segment as we take you through the happenings in the world of sports. And on the show this morning, in and around Nigeria, we have various news, and I am still your anchor, Boluwatife Adegboye, and I have right here with me in the studio, Mr. Raphael Oja Okobo.
Thank you. We're here to discuss that which makes us happy every now and then.
All right, thank you. He's a social and sports commentator, and still with me virtually is Comrade Abraham Soko, and also later on the show we'll be having Dr. Edesiri Izu, a sports analyst. You are welcome once again, Mr. Raphael.
Thank you very much.
Comrade Abraham Soko, you are welcome.
Mr. Bolo, I like this segment of the show because we don't need to fight much. We don't disagree much. It's just smooth and soft banters. Thank you very much, Mr.
All right,
Bolo.
thank you very much. Chelsea crowned kings of the world. Blues conquer where others still dream. In a night that will be etched into the club's rich history, Chelsea Football Club triumphed at the FIFA Club World Cup last Sunday, asserting their dominance on the global stage with a comfortable victory in the final. The win marks a pinnacle moment for the West London side, completing the coveted collection of major trophies. The Blues' resilience, tactical brilliance, and European pedigree shone through traits that some might say are still being searched for in some certain corners of Paris and also in North London and beyond. While PSG continue to chase continental validation with a constellation of stars, and Arsenal fans reminisce about the invincible without ever seeing their team on the world stage, Chelsea calmly added another piece of silverware to their cabinet. The Stamford Bridge faithful now sing not just of Europe, but the world. Meanwhile, over in Madrid and Barcelona, the giant of Spain may have history, but it seems it's the present where Chelsea now reigns. And for Manchester United, whose last European triumph grows more distant with each passing year, Chelsea's success serves as a reminder. It's not about past glory, it's about delivering when it counts. From London to the world, Chelsea Football Club stands tall, not just as champions of Europe, but as champion of the planet. As some club continues to build projects for the past 6 years, the Blues have built a legacy. Viewers, let's get started with the Punch Sports newspaper this morning. And the headline story on the on the Punch Sports Extra this morning says, "Stand out, Super Falcons propelling Nigeria's Mission X." And they are looking at getting their title at the West African Female Continental Competition. And also we have Lookman agrees Inter move. You can find that on page 6. We have Chelsea plus 50 million euros of Femin bid. We have Yamal takes over Baka's number 10 shirt, and that shirt number is legendary, looking at the history of those who have won it ahead of him. We also have Liverpool contact Frankfurt for Ekitike, and also we have Nwaneri Nier's new Arsenal deal. And above the masthead, we have ex-Bayana skipper dismisses Falcon title chance. And you can find that story on page 2. We have no regret picking Nigeria over USA. That is coming from the Super Falcon player Penny. We have Napoli insists on 75 million euros for Osimhen. You can find that story on page 6. We have Ndidi on Fenerbahce radar. You can also find that on page 6. And that's to the much that we can take on the sports news Punch Extra this morning. And guests, let's dive into the discussion this morning. When this weekend gave us a whole lot of excitement, and I believe all football lovers must have been excited, but perhaps people from Paris and maybe some neighbors from North London and every other part of London, maybe they are not so excited with this, but then I believe Comrade Soko would be beaming with smile right now. But then let's start with Mr. Raphael Ojo this morning.
You were supposed to just celebrate Chelsea, congratulate Chelsea for winning today, but I'm going to start by saying, like what I said behind camera, that Arsenal is the standard. Now I'll tell you why I said so. You are the one that has all the trophy. You are the one that has everything. You are the one that has won. In fact, you have the world in your hand, but you still cannot celebrate it without mentioning the club in North London, Arsenal. So just take it that Arsenal is the standard. When Arsenal lose, you banter. When Arsenal wins, you banter. Arsenal makes tops for, you banter. Arsenal win Community Shield, you banter. Arsenal goes unbeaten, you banter. But today is not about Arsenal. That's what you Chelsea fans don't realize. That when you win, instead of, how will I put it, instead of running all around, celebrate your win, enjoy the moment. I know a lot of people, including me myself, I said it here last week, that I would appreciate it. I would like it if PSG win. And this was not even banter per se. It was because of how PSG has played all through the tournaments. And then, but it was a surprise. And I also said it last week here that Chelsea has done it twice. Chelsea did it in 2012 when they played against Bayern Munich in the Champions League at the Munich Stadium. Everybody had given it to Bayern because, of course, they were playing at home. It was going to be an easy ride until Drogba scored a last-minute goal and, of course, also scored the last penalty. We also saw the same thing play out when they played Manchester City in the Champions League final. Everybody had given it to Manchester City to win. Kai Havertz scored that goal, and that was the end of it. Now the same scenario played out against PSG, of which I'm going to say I'm very disappointed at, because you don't go into a final with the idea of we'll just go and beat Chelsea. Football is tactics, football is plan, football is being intentional about whatever it is you want to do. You could see how Chelsea puts the squad was put together by Maresca. You find a Reece James playing in the midfield because they knew this game was going to be won in the midfield, and then they needed somebody who could do a yeoman's job in that middle. And who was the man that they put in there? Yes, there was Caicedo, yes, there was Enzo, but there's somebody else to join that middle and add more whatever grit in that middle. You had James there, and from your right, Malo Gusto, and of course, inform Cucurella. Inform Cucurella, all of them giving you both massive defense and massive attack, making sure that PSG doesn't play their game. And PSG only came to that game with one plan, which was plan A, to win Chelsea. It's not even to press, to win Chelsea, because everybody said, we're going to give Chelsea 4, we're going to give Chelsea 5, because either I like it or not, form also determines how a particular game will go. But football is crazy. Football most times is not 1+1. And if you also check, a particular player in that team somehow decided to switch off on that day, Mendes, because all of Chelsea's 3 goals came from that one position. All of Chelsea's 3 goals, and Enrique at some point was lost. As I'm talking to you now, I was reading on one of the dailies now. Enrique is about to offload at least 11 players from the squad, because it doesn't make any sense to beat Bayern Munich, beat Real Madrid, beat Inter Milan, beat everybody beatable, and you get to the final, all you have in your head is just to go and win. How do you win? You don't know. How do I go about it? So I will say congratulations to Chelsea. It's a well-deserved win. Now you can say it's not, I think this is the first expanded Club World Cup. They've won the Club World Cup before, but this is the first time they are winning the expanded Club World Cup. And in their kitty, they have all the trophies right now. So they deserve all the accolades, all their flowers that they can get. But what I would advise them to do is, when you win, enjoy your win, so that you know go be like person where you win, they run, go for a soccer away.
All right, thank you very much. From Arsenal being the standard to I wanted PSG to win, and Chelsea giving.
It was a fact. It was a fact.
Mr. Raphael,
every pundit was asked, who would you want? If I for even Comrade Soko that was here last week said he would like Chelsea to win his team, but the way he's looking at it, PSG is going to dismantle, and he's here live on the show.
No, I'm coming, Mr. Raphael. I'm the journalist here. I'm the hacker on this show. So you allow me to do my job.
Continue.
Now, from Arsenal being the standard to everybody should, they should demolish Chelsea, to Chelsea this, Chelsea that. And someone also said that the current Club World Cup is a downgrade, and we need to remind them that both the previous World Cup, the current World Cup, both the upgrade, the downgrade, no. Chelsea has won everything. And I saw Comrade Soko smiling the other time when Mr. Raphael was talking. So Comrade Soko, you have the floor.
I don't know the reason why Mr. Raphael is saying that Arsenal is the standard for.
I will explain to you.
First off, I would say that a team that does not have any trophy, any European trophy, I don't know how that team is the standard. And I would want to add at this point that yes, it's stark difference between the mentality of Chelsea FC and that of Arsenal. And I will tell you why. Arsenal has this antecedent of always falling off when it matters most. They will start very well, like you saw that in 2005, when in the Champions League, when they got to the final, they played spectacular football. You saw the likes of Thierry Henry, he was firing at all cylinders. Going to the final, they lost 2-1. We saw that in the immediate past season, where they played a very spectacular football against Real Madrid, and they fell off against the same PSG. So I think that for Arsenal to progress, especially at the world stage, I think at the European stage, they have to grow their winning mentality. And this is in stark contrast to Chelsea FC. You saw we had issues at the final in, I think, 2008, when we lost the Champions League final narrowly to Manchester United. But we're able to learn, we're able to grow, we're able to toughen our mentality. And these have taken us up to 2012, up to 2021, where we have been able to win 2 Champions League trophy. And this winning mentality, we also saw it in the FIFA World Club Cup, and it was spectacular, I would say. And Mr. Raphael rightly said, I did going on form, because I try to be very, very objective when I give my analysis. I said that going with my heart, I don't see Chelsea actually losing that particular final. If I go with my heart, Chelsea will win. But when you look at the data, when you look at the statistics, you just have to give it to PSG. This was a club that was coming into this game with just 1 goal conceded in the entire tournament. This was a club that have demolished the likes of Real Madrid, the likes of Bayern Munich, the likes of Atletico Madrid, the likes of Inter Milan twice, with very, very huge goal margin. So going with the data, going with the statistic, I honestly did not see Chelsea winning that final. But as I have said, when it matters most, Chelsea, they have a way of turning off the goods, and it was a very, very, very spectacular performance. I don't want to go into the tactics that was used in the game. I would say that it was a situation where Chelsea played like they wanted it most. You saw all of them working for each other. You saw all of them running. You saw Gusto having the game of his life. I've never seen Gusto play football like that. So it was a spectacular performance. And the reason why we are really, really mean to Arsenal and every other club is because nobody actually gave us a chance. You understand? Nobody actually gave us a chance. They wrote us off. And when we were able to overcome this obstacle, I think it is worth the carnival, it is worth the noise that the world and Chelsea fans actually made on winning that particular trophy. Thank you very much, Mr. Wu.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Raphael, can it be said that given the kind of matches PSG played all through to the final, can it be said it was because that they didn't meet a better team?
No, football has a way of messing you up. Mind you, the same PSG played against Botafogo. Botafogo any day, anytime cannot stand against PSG. But PSG lost against Botafogo. Mind you, the same Chelsea that won lost against Flamengo by 3 good goals. That's football for you. And the channel with which PSG went through is the different channel with which Chelsea went through. So football is not based on the better. At that night, the better team won. Doesn't make Chelsea the best team. I hope you know that that's football for you. In 2004, Greece won the European Nations Cup. In that tournament, you had the likes of Portugal, England, Belgium, and all the top teams in Europe. But who won? A Greek team that nobody could even mention. I can't even remember what their coach name is or the players that were in that team. But all they did was score 1 goal, go and sit back. And that team defeated Portugal twice in that tournament. I think 2-1 in the first game, 1-0 in the final. So football, like I said, football is not 1+1. You could also say Inter Milan was a very good team, going by the way they played all the way through to the final. But on the night, it was PSG night. Chelsea also played all the teams they need to play. PSG played all the teams they need to play. On the night, it was Chelsea's night. So I think we should focus on celebrating the team that won, giving them their flowers, rather than focusing on throwing. Yes, banter is good in football, but now we are here sitting and discussing both the team that played in the tournament and won, and the team that was not even anywhere near the tournament.
No, or rather the team that will not go anywhere near the tournament.
You can say anything you want to say, but right now we are discussing Chelsea and Arsenal. You see why I said Arsenal is the standard. Arsenal did not play in the Club World Cup, but we are discussing Arsenal and Chelsea.
I'm trying to get the standard exactly.
Because we are discussing Arsenal now.
The standard of
there are over a million. There are over a million clubs in the world. There are over a million clubs in the world
to winning any European trophies.
I agreed with you. Anything you want to say, but there are over a million clubs in the world. But we are discussing Chelsea and Arsenal.
Probably they are a standard for coming second.
But we are discussing Arsenal and Chelsea.
So let me believe they are a standard for coming.
But we are discussing Arsenal and Chelsea. I agreed, yes or yes?
No.
That's what we are discussing right now.
While we welcome Dr. Edesiri Izu. Dr. Edesiri Izu, good morning to you this morning.
Good morning, very good morning. The sky is blue. Good morning.
The sky is blue, yeah. I can see the smile. You can see everyone is actually excited. Everyone is excited, and we just want to have your comments on the Club World Cup triumph of Chelsea Football Club this morning, Doctor.
Okay, I want to congratulate Comrade Okorode, Enzo Maresca, and the entire Chelsea players and management and their fans, because the truth is even Chelsea fans did not believe they will even go near the final, not to talk of winning it, so it's kudos to them. We must give them congratulations. It's not easy at all for them to have achieved this. I enjoyed their victory because apart from them not expecting it, there were consistent attempts to water down their achievement. In the group stage, they said they had a very weak group, Esperance of Tunisia, and other weak clubs. They got to the second round, they played Benfica, and then from there they were just giving them Brazilian teams. So everybody was like, they've not played anybody compared to PSG. PSG played Atletico in the group stage, played Real Madrid, played big boys throughout. So everybody was like, it's a deal. And then it got to the final. So you can't now blame them, because if PSG beats Real Madrid, then you can't blame Chelsea or fault their route again, because they've beaten the PSG that beats the great Real Madrid. So I want to congratulate them. I have no, unlike some sore losers, I have nothing to condemn their victory at all. I'm very proud of them. I'm happy. And I'm happy they've now defined their name as the Pride of London, because now they are the only club in England, particularly in London, that has won the UEFA Champions League, the UEFA Europa League, the UEFA Conference League, now the Club World Cup, both in the old format of 6 clubs or 8 clubs and the new format of 32 clubs. So the only trophy that Chelsea has not won is Emirates Cup.
Mr. Rafi, are you hearing?
That's because
you see what I'm saying?
And that's because
now he can't make his points, and he's mentioning Arsenal. Now you see why I call Arsenal the standard.
But then, Doctor, you see why I meant? You see why I meant? Arsenal this morning.
You see why
I was even going to ask Dr. Izu. Dr. Izu, I was going to ask you. You said some losers.
The only cup they've not won is the Emirates Cup. And that's because the organizers of the Emirates Cup dare not invite them. So they also do with the cup.
Okay, so Dr. Izu, sir, 1 minute, sir. Dr. Izu, a minute. Yes. You made mention of the other time that unlike some losers, sorry, can you try to elaborate, expatiate? Who are these losers? Is that one of them from North London or where?
He said sore losers.
Sore losers.
Some people that when you beat them, they will tell you they've not eaten that morning. That's why you beat them.
No, I was actually trying to find out if it was the Gunners or something. No, I was just trying to find if it was.
You see what I'm talking about? You're still talking about us now.
So Dr. Izu, continue.
It's not you, Dr. Izu. It's not you. I'm talking about the uncle. Today we're supposed to be celebrating. Dr. Izu, agree with me on this one. We are supposed to be celebrating Chelsea for what they've
And
done.
that's what I'm doing.
Thank you very much.
You see,
But I've
Mr.
sat down in this studio to discuss Arsenal and Chelsea.
Dr. Izu, can we leave that and just continue? You have the floor, Dr. Izu. Let's leave Mr. Raphael, please.
Thank
So
you.
just continue, Dr. Izu.
But I still won't blame the anchor or Comrade Okorode, because sometimes when you are sharing testimony in church, even though you got the job, you can say, we are 1,005 that
Exactly. You see. Thank you very much, Dr. Izu, from seeing it from our own angle.
But do you mention the names of those that went to that interview with you?
So you won't fault the person sharing his testimony. You won't tell him how to share his testimony. He can even say his older neighbor who wears red didn't even bother qualify. Didn't even give them visa to come for the tournament. It's not his testimony. He paying you 2029 qualify and win it. So until they win it, allow them to celebrate the way they like it. If they want to, everyone lucky they didn't come.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Coming to here.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Like I said, I want to congratulate them, because on that day, even Chelsea fans who I know bet against Chelsea. Everybody, it was a foregone conclusion that PSG had won that game. But to the game, if I may analyze the game a bit, if you recall the last time I was here, when I was looking at Inter PSG at the final, and then before Real Madrid, I kept saying that Inter did not play to their strength and PSG's weakness. PSG is like the prime backer of those days. They don't like confrontation. Their own is surrender, let me beat you and win. So when you refuse to surrender, you will beat PSG. Now, look at how Chelsea played them. They didn't give them time to do all those nonsense passing and elaboration and dribbling. Go and watch Caicedo. They should have done a drug test for him. Or Enzo. They were high, like today we die here. So no time. They were killing them to the point that Enrique was even fighting, because the thing has gotten to him. He didn't expect anybody to challenge them like this. And if you also look at the game, PSG is not as mentally strong as people think. They played 7 games. It is not a coincidence that the 2 games they lost are the 2 games where they conceded first. So every other team should have understood. Don't try to play PSG's game. Don't do all this passing from the back. Just be harassing them, because they are short men. They are slim. They don't have that physique. So bully them, harass them, enter their head, and don't allow them settle in and start doing those nice, beautiful football. Just look at what Caicedo was, and that's the template. Same thing Botafogo did. Botafogo played them in the group stage, scored 1 goal, and went to sit back. If that game had gone on for 2 days, PSG would still not score, because mentally they had lost the fight. And again, that also sets PSG right. They don't have a recognized top 9. So when this false 19 fails, who do you fall back on? They went for Goncalves Ramos, who ended up even blocking a goal that PSG would have scored. So the same thing we've been talking about. Teams should have variety of play. And that's where my good friend Arsenal will always suffer it. They don't have this variety. When you block, see Chelsea now, everybody was expecting Jackson. João Pedro came and started everything. What's his name? The keeper has been on holiday since. On that final, he went to take something from somewhere, and it was like prime Oliver Kahn. So you must have variety. You must not be a predictable one-trick pony. So I want to congratulate Chelsea again, but I also want to state my objection at the individual prizes they gave them. I've told Komisoko privately before that in as much as to celebrate Chelsea, I don't like injustice. I don't think Cole Palmer deserved that best prize for the best player. He was the man of the match, no argument, and 1 assist. He hadn't won any meaningful man of the match tournament in the 6 matches before then. Only 1 good game. They just gave him best player. Same thing with kept very well, and then they gave him the best keeper, who played 7 games. And others who.
I believe we are struggling to hear Dr. Izu because of the network. Why we would want Dr. Edesiri Izu to hold on his thoughts. Comrade Soko, just in 2 minutes, you get to talk about the tactics, and you just you give us your own final thoughts on the show this morning in 2 minutes.
Much. I would want to say, I think I would want to align my thoughts with that of Dr. Izu. I think he was trying to talk about the fact that he felt that Kopama did not actually deserve the Player of the Tournament award. And I think I kind of agree with him, because if you look at the duration of the tournament, he has not had any spectacular game prior to this particular game. So it was kind of unfair to some other players who have been performing very, very consistently. When you look at the likes of, I think, Enzo, the likes of Vertinia, who has been a maestro in the midfield of PSG. But as you say, when it matters most, he showed up, and this is the point I've been always trying to make, that we have this mentality, we know how to toughen up. So I don't think I will also want to, in as much as it might not be fair, it might not be objective, I don't think I would want to also fault the organizers of the tournament, because of Kopama, we were able to achieve the unachievable. So it's a good one. And I think the same thing goes for the likes of the Golden Glove won by our keeper, Sanchez, because he has conceded more goals. I think he has conceded more goals overall in the tournament. He has not been performing spectacular, just because he was able to pull up a good performance in one particular match. You gave him the Golden Glove of that tournament. So I don't think it's actually fair. So having said that, I would want to touch on, since this is my last word, I would want to touch on the AFCON, our Super Falcons. They struggled in their final game against Algeria. If I'm not mistaken, I think that game ended in a stalemate. So though we're able to qualify, we'll be playing Zambia in the coming days. So we need to actually improve so that we can actually advance to the semi-finals of that particular tournament. So our players actually need to step up. They actually need to do better, because even the game against Botswana, it was not also spectacular. I think we had to wait until the 86 minutes of the game before we were able to score in that particular game. And we also need to understand that the Zambian, they are very formidable. They are a strong side. They are physical also. So we actually need to be cautious and approach this game with all seriousness. So in all, I will end here. I have to take my leave now because I have some other engagements. So I would want to say congratulations to myself. Congratulations to Mr. Bolu. I think he's a Chelsea fan. So I think we have the last word. We have the last laugh for the likes of Arsenal fans. They have to do better. They have to work hard so that at least they can get one. They should start with just one European trophy.
No, I think Conference League
let me not make it tough. They can start with
Conference
the
League.
Europa Cup.
No.
Or maybe Conference
Europa
League.
is far reaching. Conference League, actually, yes.
We understand that they have qualified for the Champions League, but there's a stage you get to when you don't advance of the group stage. I think you now fall off to the Europa League and the Conference League. So I think that that's my projection for them, and they might actually end up winning that particular one. But if they should compete with the likes of Chelsea, the PSG, the Real Madrid, I don't think that they are going to win the Champions League.
Okay, so you don't fancy them winning the Champions League again?
Thank you very much, Mr. Bolo. Thank you, Mr.
All right, thank you very much,
Comrade
Soko. Thank you very much. We appreciate you for your time. Thank you very much. And okay, so Dr. Izu, we are back with you. Can you just, in 60 seconds, an overview of the tactics and those that were awarded individual trophies in 60 seconds? Let's make it a wrap on that.
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Overview of what?
The overview of the tactics between both teams, which was what you were talking or discussing previously before we lost you, and the individual trophies that was handed out to the players also.
Okay, yes, I think Comrade Soko heard what I was saying, so he addressed it. I was talking about the tactics when, if you look at previous games, PSG were allowed to play their game So they were beating anybody that allowed them to play their game. That's why they beat Atletico 0. Because Atletico was trying to play like PSG, passing from the back and the rest of it. When they played Botafogo, the Brazilian team, they didn't play like a Brazilian team. They harassed them, scored one goal, went back to defend. PSG, so anytime you score PSG first in this tournament, PSG lost. It happened in the group stage, it happened in the final. It got to the final again. Chelsea had their game spot on. Has total harassment, no space for you to think, no time to play any back pass. They even went to play aggressive, proper aggressive football. And that was what gave them the victory. And like I said, PSG suffered for not having a known top nine. So when their usual wing play through Kvaratskhelia and Dembele failed, there was no other. When they brought on Goncalves Ramos, he even ended up blocking a ball that would have entered the goal. So I was saying that teams should have variety of plans, whereby your opponent might be expecting you in this way. You can surprise them by making a tactical switch before the game or even through your subs, like Chelsea did. Everybody's preparing for Nicolas Jackson. What did Chelsea do? Chelsea went to get João Pedro, and that was how they got the victory. For the individual awards, I already said that the goalkeeper for Chelsea, in my opinion, did not deserve that golden glove because we had keepers like Donnarumma who kept 5 clean sheets out of 7 games. So it won't be fair to someone like Donnarumma to have 5 clean sheets with several good performances and lose it to Roberto Sanchez, who had just about 2 clean sheets or thereabout, just because he played very well in the final. So that was unfair to him. I've already made my thoughts clear about Cole Palmer winning the individual prize, but that's also one of the things that comes with mentioning Real Madrid, my Real Madrid individualism.
All right, thank you very much. I think we're beginning to lose Dr. Izu. Mr. Raf, the awards. Let's talk about it. The Golden Ball, who is also the player of the tournament. The Golden Glove. You heard what Dr. Izu said. Do you agree with that?
Both of them were spot on. But one thing I've realized over time is, except for the top goal scorer awards, you cannot steal. Let me put it that way, because the facts are there and the statistics are there. The number of goals the person has scored. Did you get me? The other ones are just handed over to most times players because maybe the team won in the final. If you check, there was a team list that was drawn. I don't know if it's from FIFA thereabouts. Team of the tournament. Sanchez was not even in goal. That's the problem. It was even Bono. Sanchez was not even in goal. So you now wonder what they use in picking their goalkeeper of the tournament. And if you check other leagues, how do they pick their goalkeeper of how do they pick their keeper of the tournament? They do that based on the number of clean sheets that goalkeeper has been able to keep. That was why someone like Raya won it twice back to back in the EPL. But you have a Sanchez winning the Golden Glove just by virtue of the fact that Chelsea won the tournament. And then of course a Cole Palmer, who has been almost anonymous in all the games in the tournament, but showed up in the final, but then named MVP of the tournament, which is still far-fetched from what it's supposed to be. Like I said, congratulations to Chelsea once again. Also congratulations to Arsenal, because we have spent this whole program discussing Chelsea and Arsenal. Then I'll switch to the WAFCON. That for the WAFCON, I think our girls need to put their acts together. They've not played good football throughout the tournament. I think the only game they played a little bit well and they got a good result was against Tunisia. Against Botswana, it was nothing to write home about until that goal came. And then of course Algeria, which they have beaten twice in a recent friendly game. They couldn't even get anything out of that game. So I think they need to put their acts together, because Zambia boasts two of the most expensive female footballers in the world. Wow. In Rachel Kundananji and Banda. Yes, they are the two most expensive female footballers in the world as we speak. So I think, and the team also has grown over the years. And mind you, the last time Nigeria played the third place at the WAFCON. It was against Zambia, and we lost that. That was the first time Nigeria did not finish in the podium in this Women's Nations Cup. I think we need to get our acts together. Coach Madugu, I don't know if he knows what he's doing with these girls, because till date he's still struggling to get his team, especially in the midfield. You see him pair Akinde with this one today, pair with this one tomorrow. You're the coach. You're supposed to know your team even before a tournament starts, but he appears not to know. This was the same thing that played England in the World Cup and almost knocked England out of the World Cup, but yet can't find their feet playing in the Nations Cup against teams that, well, normally you will say you can't match them together with. So I think the coach needs to do a lot of work. It's not enough to come out and say Project X, just like what PSG did by wanting to just go to the final and collect the cup without playing Chelsea. This is you going and doing the work. So for them to be able to win, and again, for you to be able to win a tournament, you need to beat a very big team to, of course, get to the final and win. If they call it Project X, I think it's time for them to start putting their acts together and make sure they get one over the Zambian team.
All right, thank you very much. And let's go to the transfer window. The other time, Mr. Rafa was saying something about political transfer ban. But now we are in the football transfer window, and we can see, let's start with the Nigerian players. We see Lookman and Osimhen. They've been at the front burner of this transfer window, with especially Osimhen, with the back and forth between Napoli and Galatasaray, talking about the 75 million euro move to Turkey.
Now, one thing I've discovered over the years with Nigerian footballers is that they have terrible, terrible agents, because you keep seeing them making terrible choices. Now for Osimhen, I don't know what Napoli's problem is. I don't know what his own problem is. A lot of people have attributed this is stalling with different other clubs. Excuse me, with the fact that it comes to it talks about character. No coach wants a player that will give them problem, and that's why Conte said he doesn't want him in his team, because he doesn't want somebody that will be dragging position with him. Do you understand me? And now we left that part and we're talking about wages. Gyökeres is coming to Arsenal. Gyökeres had to let go of some wages to be able to make that move. Some players who have seen them do a lot of things to go to other clubs. I don't think Osimhen is ready to do any of that. And of course, the Galatasaray that wants him is still at loggerhead with Napoli. And you find one Nigerian player who left Fenerbahce, Bright Osai Samuel. Instead of renewing your contract with Fenerbahce or going to another club that is of the same standard with Fenerbahce, you're going to Birmingham in Championship for a player that is still young and is supposed to be playing active football for people to even see. And then lastly, we're talking about Ademola Lookman. I'm very happy for him. The only team that I haven't heard, there were two teams, of course, that were in talks about his move or wanting to get his signature, Barcelona and then Arsenal. But I'm glad he's making a trip to Inter Milan and he's still playing in a league that he's very familiar with. And that move, of course, is going to be a great one for Inter Milan, who are also doing great in the Italian league. But I feel for Osimhen for not being able to get this move done and dusted. But like I said, everything still boils down to, I wonder who their agents are and how they get all these discussions, because you find out that players who are not even up to the standard of these are players are moving to bigger and better clubs, and you find Nigerian players going to every Tom, Dick and Harry.
Like João Pedro from Championship too.
You won't call João Pedro from Championship. You see, that's what I'm saying. Players move. João Pedro, as we've seen him rise over the years, and now he's moved from Brighton to Chelsea. Do you understand me? Liam Delap. I was mentioning the father. Liam Delap moved from Leicester, who were relegated, to what's it called? Chelsea. You find a lot of players who are in lower team, even in Brentford. You have players who have moved from Brentford to other teams and West Ham to other teams. The trajectory is upward. Kudus moving from a West Ham team to a team that just won the Europa League, upward. But you find Nigerian players as if they are nosediving. Now, of course, even in the we've had in the days his name is in the market, he's going to move. Till now, we don't know which club it is moving to. So I think they need to get agents who really are interested in their growth. I hear Igalo advising Osimhen to go to Saudi Arabia and go and make money. No doubt, money is good, but then again, football is something that can just in a twinkle of an eye, you close. See what happened to Musiala. Musiala at against PSG. Some players go out of football with such injuries, but luckily for him, Baba is going to be coming back maybe in like 5 or 6 months time thereabouts. So football is they're telling him football is like this, just go and make your money. Of course you can make your money, but then in the face of the footballing world, you are nowhere you're nowhere to be found. So I just wish they could get good agents that can get them good deals with good club, and he also needs to watch his character. He also needs to watch his character, because whatever it is he's displaying in the national team, in his club, other people are aware and they are watching him, and nobody wants who will give them trouble. That's why someone like a Balotelli, no matter how skillful he was, could not stay in one place.
All right, thank you very much. Coming to Dr. Edesiri Izu, you look at the Napoli saga of Napoli wanting a 75 million euros and wanting some sort of bank or a legal material that is tenable in the bank to be able to get their money, because it's said that Galatasaray has this habit of not paying up their transfer fee very very quickly. So Dr. Edesirizu, what do you make of this? And this back and forth is having impact on the player itself, on his mental health as a person. Dr. Edesiri, let's have your take on it.
Okay, I unlike what some would say, I stand with Napoli. The law is an ass. It's just like what's happening in our National Assembly between Natasha and the court. Natasha's lawyer say the court ordered the Senate to reinstate her. The Senate said no, the judgment is advisory. It didn't order us. So Napoli's contract says 75 million. Napoli said they want cash, not promise. It's within their rights to ask for cash. So it's not enough for you to say you want 75, you are giving me 75. Pay me now. It's within my rights. Now, I want to buttress the point that my Arsenal friend there has said, Comrade Rafa said. The contracts are almost slavery. It brings into question last season or 2 seasons ago, because Napoli Osimhen missed a penalty. Napoli's own admin logged onto Twitter, to social media to mock Osimhen. So you have already seen what the club thinks of you. Why did you go ahead to sign a renewal?
You get.
So that was you using your own hand to hammer your coffin, your own coffin. That was suicidal. At that point, his value was high. He had won the Serie A Golden Boot. He had won the Serie A title. Leave the stage when the ovation is loudest.
High.
He did not leave. Don't forget, you're also black. So there's so many odds against you. So you leave when the stage when the ovation is loudest. You went to sign again. Not even that when he signed, they didn't significantly increase his wages. So what was the benefit of that signature? That's number one. Number two, don't forget his saga with Finidi George. You are not Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi. That the footballing world can give some, they can just tolerate some of the ideas because, of course, they are Ronaldo, they are Messi, they are Pele. You are Victor Osimhen, for God's sake. Why would you come and fight your national team coach live on Instagram? Go and watch your colleagues who did the same thing and see how they ended. The likes of Balotelli, the likes of Carlos Tevez, who refused to come on as a substitute for Man City. So how did once in a generation, once in a lifetime kind of player, you are easily replaceable. Napoli have won the league without you, showing you are easily replaceable. So they have all the odds. They have all. What moves has he and his agent taken to placate both Napoli and Conte? Almost none. So that brings us to the point of education. Yes, talent is good, but even like a good musician, look at what's happening in music world, where some talented artists go and sign contracts with record labels, sign away all their rights. And so when it happens like that, you cannot fault the club for wanting to use their rights, and so you don't blame them. So Nigerian players should always ensure that they have a high level of esteem. Nobody can value you more than you value yourself. So value yourself high, get the right team. When I mean team, agents, media handlers, and the rest of them. Osimhen came to Nigeria and went to party with some let me not call them miscreants, showing what is eating
Twitter
and everything.
influencers.
Didn't carry himself properly. So he has not carried himself as a true sportsman. You won't see Ronaldo with some of all those junk food. And you must carry yourself prim and proper. And so these clubs will not want to assign, they don't want that drama anymore. That's why it's left with just Galatasaray and Saudi. Otherwise, for someone like Osimhen's talent, they shouldn't even be going for Vitor Gokres. They should be going for Osimhen straight up. Or even a Chelsea because he's black, he has the build. He's made for Chelsea, Arsenal, or Man U. But they're not going for him because of all this. Nobody wants that package. And similar thing with what Rafa said. You go to some country like Bahrain, you will see Nigerian footballers there doing what? Value yourself. You have the talent. There are some players who are far less talented than Nigerian players, but because they have the right support system. Go and look at the clubs that Mino Raiola. Mino Raiola will use his mouth and market his club to be his player. Who does? Look at this Cameroonian player, Choupo-Moting. Go and look at the clubs he has played for. PSG, Bayern Munich.
That guy played in all the top clubs.
Top clubs. People that he wants. Meanwhile, Choupo-Moting is not very wonderful. He's not even the starter in his national team.
Nothing.
You understand my point? But go and look at who Choupo-Moting has played for. Same thing with look at this Man U defender that they signed from Bayern Munich. He's Dutch. He's Dutch. I'm trying to remember his name. I know you know who I'm talking about.
Delete.
He played for Juventus.
Delete.
Thank you. He played for Ajax. He played for Juventus. He played for Bayern. Meanwhile, you and then like you want to count the top 10 or even 20 central defenders.
No,
you won't count the power of his agents.
At all, yeah.
So you must get your acts right. Football talent is not enough. Talent is good, it's the principal thing. But talent alone is not enough. You need the right team. Team of handlers, media handlers, agents, lawyers. Everybody put together. So I think Nigerian, not just Osimhen now, but Nigerian football naturally should do better. Apart from Kanu Nwankwo, how many other Nigerian footballers can you say have had that career at the peak of the best clubs? The rest are struggling. See, now look at Osimhen, Ndidi. Ndidi, who should be okay. Ndidi, who should have been at the top club like Man U, is now is going for Fenerbahce now. Meanwhile, look at Liam Delap that left Ipswich that relegated and went to Chelsea and won the World Cup. So it's about your marketing power and prowess. Particularly since you are black, you're already a disadvantaged person. Don't further disadvantage yourself by carrying weak people who don't have the clout or the pulling power. I rest my case. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Raphael. Your final thoughts.
I'm happy that he continues from where I stopped. No, a lot of these players don't know. They think everything is. There's no. When people begin to say education has come, last education no be scam. You need to know whatever it is that you are doing and who you are working with. You see some players who would part ways with their agents. It's because they are not getting. Just also, he was mentioning Choupo-Moting. Adebayo played for Arsenal, played for Tottenham, played for Manchester City,
played for
Madrid. Do you understand me? Will you be putting Adebayo on the same level with Osimhen in terms of strike power, strike force? Not at all. Do you understand me? So we have a lot of Nigerian players who are dealing with terrible agents who are not advising them at all. And like he said, leave when the ovation is loudest. Osimhen had the opportunity of leaving when he had won the league and won the trophy and won the golden boot, but stayed. Then the new coach came and said, I don't need you. What did he do to the new coach that said, I don't need you? I don't think himself and Conte had any fracas at all. It was just by virtue of what Conte has seen and heard. And the man just came and said, I don't need you. And truthfully, did he need him? No. Napoli still won the league with Lukaku that everybody thought had finished. Do you understand me? So I think we need to get to a point where they need to get good agents that can get them good deals and play for top clubs and let their market value rise.
All right, thank you very much. We want to appreciate you, Mr. Raphael Rafiki or Jao Komo, and we also want to appreciate Dr. Desiri Izu for joining us on the show this morning. Also, not forgetting Comrade Soko, who also joined us virtually earlier on in the show. And that's all we can take this morning. But before we go, I have a dream that someday the black man in Nigeria would also have the same value in the sports world, particularly the footballing world. and also have the same platform, such as the likes of CR7, Lionel Messi also had. And until we come your way next time, I remain your anchor, Bolo Atife Adigboye. Till when next we meet.